Hey everyone, welcome to our second Q&A session with Tori and Alex. To kick off our IRA planning webinar on Wednesday, June 24th at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., we figured we'd do a quick Q&A session on all things IRA planning. So just wanted to set the foundation for our webinar. So first question, we're going to start with traditional IRAs. So what is an IRA?
So an IRA is a traditional style retirement account, and specifically an individual retirement account. And the term individual basically means that it's connected only to you as an individual and not connected to any of your employer-sponsored plans. So this is one of the big things that differentiates an IRA from a 401k or a 403b. Another important aspect of IRAs is the way they're treated from a tax perspective. So when you add money to an IRA, it is a pre-tax contribution and your contribution is tax deductible. Once your money is inside of the IRA, it grows tax deferred, and then typically in retirement when you're doing your withdrawals, you're taxed at that point in time. So IRAs do a really good job of saving you money on taxes in the year that you contribute, but you are going to be responsible for your taxes when you pull your money out in retirement.
Awesome. And what does one use to fund a traditional IRA?
So you can use pretty much anything to fund a traditional IRA, anything from a savings account all the way to a type of an investment. I'd say typically people like to utilize some type of an investment, whether it be mutual funds, ETF, stock funds, bond funds, etc. Because with retirement accounts, they typically have a long time horizon and investors want to see some growth over that period of time. But again, it's up to the IRA owner of how they'd like to fund it.
Right. And what are the contribution limits?
So if you're under the age of 50, you can add up to $6,000 per year. And if you're over the age of 50, you can add an additional $1,000, bringing the total to $7,000 a year.
Cool. And what are, who can add to a traditional IRA?
So pretty much anyone can add to a traditional IRA, but in order for your contributions to be deductible, you have to be under some certain income limits. So for most people that file singly, they would have to have an AGI of under $65,000 to get the full deductibility. And for those married filing jointly, they would have to have an AGI under $104,000 to get the full deductibility.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. So we'll jump into talking about Roth IRAs. So Tori, could you let us know kind of what a Roth IRA is?
Yeah, so a Roth IRA is an individual retirement account similar to a traditional IRA, just the tax consequences are backwards. So in the year that you add to a Roth IRA, you don't get a deduction from your taxable income. So that's part of your taxable income for that year. But all of the growth and all of the distributions when you take money out of a Roth IRA, assuming that you wait until retirement, are tax-free.
Gotcha. All right. And then what vehicles do I use to fund a Roth IRA?
So same as a traditional IRA, you can fund a Roth IRA with anything from a money market account to a CD to an annuity, mutual funds, ETFs, individual stocks and bonds.
Cool. And then what are the contribution limits on that?
So contribution limits are the same. For 2020, if you're below age 50, it's $6,000 in 1 year. And then if you're above age 50 or 50 or older, then it's $7,000 a year.
Gotcha. And I know that there are income limits for a traditional IRA. Are there income limits for a Roth IRA as well?
There are. So if you are filing single with your taxes, you can add to a Roth IRA as long as you are under $124,000 in AGI. If you are married filing jointly, then if you make under $196,000, you can add to a Roth IRA as well.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks.
So between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA, which option should I take advantage of?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd say the short answer is it depends. But remember kind of what each does. So a traditional IRA saves you money on taxes today, but you are going to be responsible for your taxes later down the road. Roth IRA is backwards, where it doesn't save you money on taxes today, but once money is inside of the account, it's 100% tax-free. So sometimes it's really nice to have a tax-free pool of income to draw from in retirement. So again, it depends kind of on your preference on how you would like the taxation to occur. But a couple of things to keep in mind would be, one, where you're at in your own, personal life cycle from an income perspective. If you're at a point where you're currently in a lower tax bracket now than you expect to be in come retirement, so maybe you're early in your career, aren't making as much now as you expect to later, you might be in a lower tax bracket now than you will be come retirement. So it might make more sense to get taxes out of the way now. So think about your personal situation. Also good to look at the tax environment on a national scale as well. So right now, just back in 2017, we had the first tax cut in about 30 years. So those are few and far between, but tax brackets in general now for most people are probably lower than they have been in the past and might, be in the future as well. So, looking at the overall national tax environment as well, now might be a good time to add to a Roth account, but it's not a one-size-fits-all answer, and it depends on everybody's individual situation.
Awesome.
Of course.
And can you please explain Roth conversions? We get a lot of questions on these, so.
Gotcha. Yeah. So a Roth conversion at its most simple level is just a conversion from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. And a lot of people, have traditional IRAs and find out about Roth IRAs later down the road, and Roth conversion gives them one way to move their money into the Roth IRA type of account. One, and this is the biggest thing to remember when trying to make a Roth conversion, is that however much you convert from the traditional IRA to the Roth IRA is going to be taxable in that year. So if you do a Roth conversion of $10,000, you would add $10,000 to your gross income for that year, and you'd be responsible of the taxes associated with that. So it's basically a way to get your taxes out of the way in the current year so that you don't have to pay them later down the road. But it's always a balance to make sure that you are able to pay the amount in taxes that you would be owing in that current year. But overall, it's a great strategy as you start to prepare for retirement to start creating as big of a pool of tax-free income as possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
So we have our webinar. I guess that concludes our Q&A session for today. But stay tuned for our full webinar happening on June 24th at 2 p.m. and another session at 6 p.m. You can find the registration link on our website. So toriandalex.ceterainvestors.com. Visit our events tab and you can register for whichever time works best for you. Also, visit our schedule a meeting tab if you have any specific questions on how these IRAs apply to you. Take care. See you next week.
Thanks, everyone.